It's National Grief Awareness Day, and if you're not in a stage of grief at the moment, it's likely that you know someone who is. Today we have licensed therapist Dr. Matthew Parvis here to talk about the process that comes from healing from a loss and when you're experiencing grief. So thank you so much for being here to talk about this very important conversation.
You know, I'm so glad you're doing this because it's a difficult topic and one that our society tends to avoid. So this is not the happy story, but it's something that's almost universal. If you don't go first, you're going to experience it.
Absolutely. And so let's start off with this. It may seem like a really simple question, but define grief.
Grief is, you know, not just death. It's the shocking loss or the sudden loss or it's more than the loss of a person. I mean, it can happen with a diagnosis of an illness. It can happen, you know, to a degree with a job. But with grief from death and loss, it's not just the loss of the person. It's the loss of your life. It's the loss of your expectations for the future. It's a loss for resolution. It's a loss of the closest community for good or ill that you may have.
What are some signs for someone experiencing grief or someone who knows someone or thinks someone might be experiencing grief that they might exhibit?
Well, it's such a universal experience if you go through it. And we don't teach anything about it. We try to teach people while they're going through it. And that's kind of ridiculous. It's to help them through it. So signs that you see can vary because, you know, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said there's denial and anger and bargaining and depression and acceptance. But it's not a nice line. So there are cultural expectations. Some cultures grieve outwardly. There are very restrained cultures, and then families have the same thing. So knowing what to expect, you have to be close enough. It can be the sleeplessness, it can be the crying, it can be the rage, it can be the almost dissociation because you feel like your life doesn't exist. So the problem is we become very good in our society at masking it.
Yeah.
3 days of bereavement leave, or you go and then you come back and you put on this person, but you're not this person anymore.
Yeah, because grief doesn't just magically go away. It's also,
No.
I know in my case, in my family's case, something that you experience over the course of your lifetime. And so what would you tell to people who are experiencing grief, how they can start to heal and go through that process?
Well, you don't, I appreciate the way you said it, you don't get over grief. In fact, there's a disorder, prolonged grief disorder. I've seen people who've been grieving intensely for years, even decades, because they're stuck in that loop. It's a PTSD form. So to begin to come alive again, to begin to heal and come back to being part of the world as you are now, takes three things. The first is choosing, the 3 C's, choosing, connecting, communicating. Hard things to do. Choosing means you start to make choices about what's best for you. Sometimes I've said to a client who says, I just want to stay in bed all weekend. Well, stay in bed all weekend because you're going to get up on Monday. You know, we sometimes need to choose what's best for ourselves that doesn't look like it would be because life isn't normal. Connecting is, grief is isolating as it is. And people don't know what to say after my condolences and such. So connecting is to at least stay, to let the people in, if they're bringing food, if you're attending a church, whatever you may be doing, to at least stay connected. And then the question you get a lot is, what good is talking? Well, it's not only cathartic, it's how we process in our brains to move things into memories and into long term by talking about it. So those 3 things are very important. You start off very small with you're not leading them, you're walking with them through it. In fact, my favorite book on this that I recommend to all my clients who go through it at some point is called Companion Through the Darkness by Stephanie Erickson.
We don't have any time to wrap him up, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to tell people when they see this in someone, a loved one, a friend, really quickly, what can they do to be able to help?
Love them, be there for them, not ask them, not demand of them, not think you know what's best for them, just be there with them. That's the starting place and the ending place.
Doctor, thank you so much. Very important conversation.
My
I think
pleasure.
so many people needed to hear that. Thank you. We'll be right back.